Right, I should be on here. For anybody who's wondering, my camera is packed in, so I have to get a new one today, so I'm going to have to do this without any visual of me, but I'm going to be doing a screen share anyway, so it really doesn't matter. Just bear with me a wee second here. So, I'm sure many people are aware that there has been a lot of coverage in the mainstream recently, and today, this morning, I got a message from a family member telling me that there was a guy on GMTV. That guy is Matt Sargent. So I'm just going to do a wee quick run through. I'm going to play this. So this is fair use, and the channel who uploaded this is Tesla's Apple. So again, it's fair use. It's for commentary purposes, and analysis on what actually went on. I'm obviously going to be pointing out the obvious here, but just so that it's known, and it makes you very suspicious about why, you know, they continue to roll out certain characters, and when they roll out these certain characters, they're not equipped either deliberately or, you know, just at the level they are at, where they allow the presenters to drag them into nonsensical fucking jargon, right? So I've had a wee quick look through this once, so I'm just going to screen share here in a wee second. Just bear with me. Should be the one there. Also, you get your mic on there just to let me know if this is sharing okay.
Yeah, I'm here, dude.
Right, are you seeing the video?
See YouTube's screen, yeah.
Yeah, with Tesla's Apple, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one, dude.
Right, okie doke. So we'll just start playing through this.
We are going to ask a crazy question, and we're not immune to those on this program. Is the Earth flat? Some people truly believe it is, and have shunned modern science, shunned it even.
No, we've not shunned modern science. We have shunned modern sophism and the advancement of technology to give us graphics and images. Again, graphics, images do not trump physics, actual science, which is based in substance and the understanding of substance. So again, you know, people are really so far removed from being in touch with actual reality that they think that video and images constitute as science when they do not. That is movies, that is for entertainment purposes. What you see through a screen is purely entertainment, no science. So these people, they use these mantras continually. Oh, people are shunning modern science. No, we're shunning pseudoscience and fucking cartoons on the TV.
Favour of a conspiracy theory. Yeah.
In a moment, we're speaking to a real astronaut and a flat Earth theory.
A real astronaut. I remember when I was a kid that astronauts were, you know, it was professed to us in our generation that astronauts had to be at the peak of physical condition and pretty much athletes, you know. What do we see with these astronauts? We see podgy, fat, baldy, unfit, couldn't even do one press up or one sit up, never mind go to the extremities of the fake vacuum of space.
And more on the so-called conspiracy.
Yeah, let's take a closer look at this one, because flat Earth theorists believe that the Earth is shaped like a disc, with the North Pole in the centre and the South Pole around the edge, with NASA workers guarding the sides to prevent people from falling off.
So right away, you can see the absolute bollocks. This is exactly why, you know, pushing these maps and models was always going to be a bad thing. It doesn't matter, it's getting publicity. You know, I'm not going to digress into what the possibilities of that are, but just from the very off here, look at the nonsense they are showing and the narrative that this woman has been fed. You know, flat earthers agree. No, we don't agree. Generalising. More logical fallacies from mainstream media.
NASA also claimed that NASA fakes pictures of the globe in an effort to keep the truth from the public. The controversial.
Well, Mrs., if somebody has shown you an image, a video, picture, whatever it may be, that contradicts known physical science, then there is a serious issue. Okay, so rotund, convex bodies of water and pressure systems, opposing pressure systems side by side are no reality. The images are contradicting known physics.
American rapper B.O.B. He announced he was a flat earther on Twitter. He's now trying to raise $1 million to launch satellites to prove his theory. And
so this ballbag B.O.B. wants to launch a satellite to prove his theory. What B.O.B. has never done the work in order to understand actual physics himself. Still professing that you can send satellites into the vacuum of space that has no solid separation between our pressurised environment and this supposed vacuum. What a muppet.
The former England cricketer Freddie Flintoff thinks there could be a conspiracy.
Oh, Freddie Flintoff.
I'm not coming out now saying I think the world is flat, but it could be. There's evidence to suggest that the world isn't round. The pictures which you see, the horizon always appears flat, apart from NASA pictures, which some say could be doctored.
He's not joking.
They won't joke.
He's not
So you've
joking.
got a floating one of the conspiracy theories.
You wrote a conspiracy theory. It suggests.
No, don't worry, I agree, and I'm concerned about Freddie, but I'm sure.
You're concerned about Freddie Pierce. I'm concerned about people like you that believe they live on a nature-defying blue testicle flying through the vacuum of space, son. Right?
It was tongue-in-cheek devil's advocate stuff, but other people seem to believe this thing. Now, we're joined by astronaut commander Terry Virts, who spent 200 days on the International Space Station.
Does he not look a wee bit strained and worried? Look at the wrinkles under those eyeballs. Oh, the peak of physical and mental conditions. Whatever.
Let me just ask you, is the Earth round or flat?
Well, that's an easier subject than Brexit or marriage. It's round.
How do we know?
So he throws in the wee bit at the beginning before he answers his question, setting it up, trying to give some sway to it.
She worked for NASA, and the point is that only NASA are saying that they have the proof.
That's true.
Well, that is true, and she's exactly spot on. Look at his eyes. Right? Only NASA or any of these institutions are professing that the Earth is a round testicle. Right? Nothing else, no measurable scientific demonstrations or proofs can show you that the Earth is indeed a blue testicle.
How do we know for sure?
Well, so they put me on the space shuttle, and they hit the red button, and I launched into space.
Removing responsibility from himself. They put me on a space shuttle because I really don't have any say. I'm just like a wee dog, and they just throw me in there and then they launch me.
Going eastbound at 17,000 miles an hour.
17,000 miles an hour, no bother, son. Show me some materials that can withstand that type of velocity. You're talking absolute bollocks.
And thankfully, I came back around to the other side. If there were,
Oh, thankfully. You notice the hand motion came back round to the other side. He never went around the ball. He went round in a circle, a lateral circle. Watch the hand motion.
I wouldn't be here today.
Right, despite all your extensive experience and...
Oh, that image looks real. There's no way that that's just a horizon that's been bent by a fisheye lens. Nah, no way.
By your own eyes.
Right.
We want to introduce you to Mark Sargent in Seattle, because he said you're wrong. The world is flat. Mark, honestly,
And by the way, Freddie wasn't joking around. He's one of ours. Absolutely.
One of ours, Mark, what does that mean? Encapsulating everybody under one umbrella. He's no one of anything. There is individual people here who are standing on their own feet, representing themselves, that do not want to be part of any organisation or any umbrella outfit. So, Freddie Flintoff is no one of anybody's, right? Until Freddie Flintoff gets his act together, and the rest of you get your act together and start representing things for what they actually are. There is no us at all.
And by the way, sorry, happy birthday in advance to Terry. Hi, Terry.
Fuck Terry.
We have a big one coming up. I normally wouldn't say it, but it's a big one.
All right. And
Okay,
that's
Mark,
the people
Mark,
pleasing.
for those of us who don't be stupid, who think the Earth is not flat but round,
Sure.
mainly because lots of people have been in orbit around the round Earth. Tell me why you think the Earth is flat.
I think the Earth is flat. The biggest reason is go to the beach with a high-powered HD.
Right, so right here, Mark, you know, and anybody else who is going to be on mainstream media has a huge responsibility to cut through the fucking bullshit. Right, so straight away you shouldn't be going, oh, if you stand at the beach, you see this, you should be going, no, let's first understand first principles. We are discussing science, we are discussing objective truths. So let's first formulate an understanding of what science actually is. Now, we would be referring to natural science, which is based in the understanding, knowing and application of substance. So you have to get them to agree on the fundamentals of what science actually is and the science that you're talking about. No jump straight to, oh, if you stand at the beach, I can see it's flat.
Camera and look off into the distance. About 10, 15 years ago, you could see ships go over the horizon, right? Now you can bring them back into frame. All you have to do is crank up the zoom. Technology has changed everything.
A camera is merely a magnifying instrument that magnifies what is already seen. There is going to come a point where you cannot magnify things back in because they are limited. Okay, so there is a problem and an issue with the vanishing point and what actually goes on at that point. Now that point changes, varying conditions, atmospheric conditions play a role in when that happens and when it doesn't happen, and it varies from day to day. So this continual bullshit about pulling things fully back in over the curve is nonsense, right? A camera only magnifies what is already visible. Okay?
And yes, as much as, look, Terry's one of my countrymen. I respect that. He's a commander of the United States military.
Fuck countrymen! Patriotic border bullshit, imaginary fucking lines. Stop pandering to them. They're lying pieces of shit, and you should be cutting through the bollocks and highlighting it.
Which means he can keep secrets. What we're talking about here is very simple, like the graph. Sorry, we're talking about all the world's a stage, and you're living basically in a big sound stage, and nobody figured it out until about 1956.
Okay, Terry, you're talking.
Right, so Mark, why do you have to hold up a frisbee? Right, playing into their hands, the ridicule, the straw man. Okay, it's not been established that the Earth is a frisbee flying through a vacuum of outer space. None of that has been established. Straw men put up there in order to be ridiculed and torn apart.
Complete nonsense or a conspiracy.
Terry? No, not Terry.
No, Mark, Terry. That's what I'm saying. It's talking complete nonsense. You're part of the NASA conspiracy. You've all been lying to us for decades. The Earth is flat.
Well, I have a new book out, View from Above, and I would say this is a great place. There's one picture of coast in Britain. This is probably one of my favorite pictures. But here we go. Okay, so this is there we go. This is
so here we get a cartoon image. You know, this is what I'm talking about. If you get into them right away and start talking about actual science, substances, right, then you can establish that images and video in no way, shape or form constitute as measurable scientific proof. And if your images and videos are contradicting the known substances in reality, the applied wisdom and knowledge of these substances, then there's an issue with your images and videos, right? But this twat, again, is trying to subliminally play on the already established programming in people's minds, where they take information like images and videos through books and TV screens to be some sort of proof of something. Absolutely preposterous, right? So even this guy can't even enter into a discussion on science and scientific facts. He's waffling and showing you an image here.
This is a great picture of the UK. Yeah, and the northern lights in the background are amazing. And this.
If that's the fucking UK, I mean, it's lit up like a fucking Christmas tree. What's going on? You know, I live in Scotland and I can go out with the city centres or the town centres and there's an abundance of empty space, right? Nothing. And if I go a drive there at night time, guess what? It's pitch black everywhere. Right? So I don't know what this Christmas tree nonsense is about.
Kind of a round earth there. So
See, oh, look at my picture. Oh, I'll shrug my shoulders and say, well, it looks like a round earth there in my book. Look at the nervous smile. Look at him. Because he knows he's fucking lying.
But that's just a picture which...
This is why they don't interview people like myself, right? Because I'm not going to sit there going, ooh, look at my pizza dish, and if you go to the beach, you're going to... No, I'd be tearing into him and that twat Piers Morgan, right? For his intellectual snobbery and his illogical bumf.
is the doctor.
Yeah.
Oh no, because books can't be doctored, can they, Piers? Look at the state of you. You're an absolute jester. Total clown show.
Well, I'm actually going to Antarctica this weekend. So
Oh, there's a surprise.
The bars down there, they're keeping us, you know.
And Terry, when you orbited the Earth, very few people have orbited the Earth, right?
Exactly, Piers. Very few people. Maybe 500, so the figures say. I wonder how many people have professed to be in touch with God and aliens in the fifth dimension. I suppose if you get 1,000 of those, that somehow gives it sway to it being true. No, how we find out what is true is we base things on objective facts, substances, and they tell us about the objective world. No, a fucking image or testimonies from 500 people. Bullshit.
When you've done this, I mean, it's round, right?
It's round.
I mean,
Yeah.
I just keep saying it. Oh, it's round, it's round. Yeah, oh, it's round. Look, here's another picture. Next you'll be seeing Superman whizzing by there, and then we've got to believe Superman's real. And also, in a couple of weeks' time, we might see Santa Claus.
Or a football, and you run around it, it's round.
Well, the Greeks figured
The
it out
same as the planet.
several thousand years ago.
What was that?
No,
Crap, wait a minute.
Well, the football, and you run around it, it's round. I mean,
Yeah.
Mark, you know, when you take a tennis ball or a football and you run around it, it's round.
Well, the Greeks figured it out.
I mean, are you listening to this? What kind of fucking point is that? If you take a tennis ball or a football and you run around it, it's round. What? I mean, what?
The same as the planet.
Several thousand years ago.
Right. So,
A football and a tennis ball's round, and you can run round it there. Therefore, the planet's round. This is Piers Morgan, intellectual, celebrity extraordinaire.
oh, I put it to you, not talking to you.
But no, Piers, it's you that's talking nonsense, son. I don't know if you listened to that. You just said, take a tennis ball and a basketball, and it's round, and if you run round it, it's round. Therefore, the planet's round. Oh, how scientifical, logical.
It's obviously utter nonsense. It's obviously insanity. In fact, I encourage anyone that's listening to the sound of my voice, don't Google flat Earth. Don't do it.
Oh,
I will
a bit of, you know, reverse psychology there. Very subtly done.
counter his picture with this question. It's a simple question for him. The first blue marble shot of the Earth,
That's
blue marble I'm talking about, Terry, was taken in 1972 by Apollo 17. Do you know when the second one was taken? 2 summers ago.
right. It's a valid point, Mark, right? But at the end of the day, you know, I wouldn't be using that. I would be saying, never mind your images here, whatever your name is. Let's discuss science and the substances in the known world and how things actually work, actual physics. And let's see if it measures up to the claim, right?
2015. That's 43 years. That's 2 generations. Nobody took a blue marble shot of the Earth.
Mark, let me put this question to you. Let's assume for a moment you're right. Why would anybody bother to lie about whether the Earth is round or flat? Who benefits from the biggest lie in history? Why would it matter?
I'll tell you who benefits, Piers. Dipshit, insecure, needy, controlling morons is who benefits, right? Because if you can remove the psychological foundation from human beings and replace it with some fucking bollocks narrative about where they are, who they are, what their existence is, you can put them in a place of bewilderment, confusion, fear, and then they are controllable, right? And if there is other things out there to discover, you are going to limit them from ever having the inclination or will to go and discover such things. Therefore, they will stay in the middle, believing the ideas of existence, what life should be, the structure we have in society, and they will go about their lives doing things that make them fucking miserable, like going to school, being taught utter bullshit, then leaving school and going to a fucking mundane, dead-end fucking slave job where they think this is the world, this is existence, this is what we have to do, and they'll just sit there like little fucking muppets while dipshits like you and your fucking elite buddies can sit at the top of the fucking pile, reaping the rewards at the cost of everybody else. Never mind the billions and billions and trillions that are thrown to the military and organisations like NASA who do fuck all but produce cartoon drawings.
Come on, Piers, you would break that story knowing the shock waves that would ripple throughout our civilization?
Why would somebody start to lie? Why would somebody wake up one day and go, you know what? We're going to pretend.
See, the thing is, Pierce, me old chap, motives are secondary. Let's look at the crime scene, sonny boy, and establish what the facts are before we even jump to motives. Because you're running before you can walk and you're distracting from the actual point, right? Again, trying emotional manipulation on people, right? By trying to ridicule the reasons for why. Never mind that. You don't walk into a murder scene and go, oh, well, I don't know why it happened, so therefore the murder never happened. Fuck off.
It's actually round when it's flat. Why would anyone do that?
No, I got you there. What we're talking about?
Oh no, Pierce, no governments ever tell lies. No, the world's full of holier than thou angel type people. No, nobody lies to benefit themselves or control and dominate other people. No, it's just not in the nature of people whatsoever. No, never happens. Never happens.
Much bigger than that. I'm talking about if this place was built, that means it was built by someone, which means you're not alone, which means whoever the things were that built this place probably were the ones that introduced the globe model to begin with.
Right, okay. So, Terry, apparently there were a bunch of aliens.
Right, I don't know where they got there's a bunch of aliens. I never heard Mark saying a bunch of aliens.
Who built planet Earth and
Pretend it's round.
and they pretended it was round.
Well, it's funny, conspiracy theorists.
He's trying hard to keep his composure here, and I can see the strain in his eyes, right? Because he knows he's fucking lying. You, sonny boy, are being set up to take a fall.
I appreciate that people think the government is so capable and we can keep secrets and stuff like that.
Oh no! Oh, I appreciate the government think that they're so capable. No, because they never lie. No, they're totally open and honest. I mean, mainstream media and news is totally objective. No, it's never slanted to fear, famine, horror, torture. No, it's not slanted like that. It's totally objective. They always represent the facts. Governments always tell the bloody truth and have all our best interests at heart. That's why we are living in a utopian type society where everybody's free and happy, being expressive and creative. No, nothing could possibly be wrong. No way.
But, you know, the simplest secrets, you can't even get one person to stay quiet about something. So these days, it's insane. So, you know.
Well, I'm not talking about a couple of women down the pub here who are keeping a secret about Jimmy McGlumfer up the road who has been messing about with the neighbour's missus. We're not talking about that, Terry. Right?
People say we didn't land on the moon. Well, did we get 100,000 people to join the conspiracy?
No, we didn't get 100,000 people. How many people were actually involved with the actual process of going to the moon? Terry, it wasn't 100,000. I don't know any rocket ships that can carry 100,000 people. I think you're talking crap.
You know, you can't even keep one person quiet nowadays.
Do you believe that men have been on the moon?
No, do not believe anything the Americans tell you about their space program at all.
You're an American, are you not?
I absolutely am American. But don't you as an American,
But not any other American.
I'm saying that you don't need 100,000 people to keep this thing a secret. As a matter of fact, less is more. needs
Exactly.
to be basis. The only guys that need to be in on this, none of the wrench turners at NASA. All you need is the telemetry guys and those bosses. Everybody else is.
Can I ask you another thing? Do you believe Hillary Clinton won the US?
Oh, diversion.
election?
Let's divert to something else.
Sorry, I didn't really.
You think Elvis is still alive, Mark?
No.
Shut up, Pierce, you absolute illogical twat. I hope I get the opportunity to speak to dipshits like this. Really?
I don't believe that.
I doubt it, though.
Wow, right. Okay.
That's where you thought.
I with a lot of things, but no, Elvis, no.
Okay, sorry, just about your books.
Mark, this is where Mark should be pounding on them and not sitting there, you know, passively accepting their bullshit. You should be pointing out, you know, Pierce, why are you being illogical? Why are you diverting to Elvis and Elvis still being alive? Why are you trying to equate actual science to some kooky conspirator nonsense about Elvis still being alive? Why are you doing that, Pierce? That's what you should be saying to him, Mark. No sitting there passively accepting the bullshit that they are obviously showing.
Amazing pictures. You've had an extraordinary career, not just as an astronaut. You've got up 3,000 flight hours and 40 aircraft for the US military. You've befriended.
So somebody who can fly aircraft, that somehow, you know, proves that they are going to the nonsense kid-on vacuum of space and flying wee tin cans at 17,500 miles an hour. Okay.
Buzz Aldrin, one of the first men ever.
Oh, now we're getting an emotional connection. Oh, you befriended Buzz Aldrin because Buzz Aldrin's deep-rooted in the programming and the hearts and minds of the people. So therefore, we could use that as a trigger to try and get some emotional sway with people. Fuck off.
To go to the moon. I've met him once. Extraordinary character, amazing energy. Yeah, from the earth.
Oh, extraordinary character, amazing energy. Therefore, he must be telling the truth, right? Because I've met him, and he's an extraordinary character with incredible energy and charisma.
Yeah. What does it be like to hang out with Buzz?
Yeah, Buzz and I met each other almost 20 years ago. We actually flew F-16s together in Germany, and it's been. I grew up.
I don't think Buzz can even wipe his arse properly. Never mind flying multi-million-dollar aircraft. I would like to see this, right? Because I'm telling you, I think he pokes his finger through the toilet roll when he's trying to wipe his arse in the morning. That's how incompetent I think he is.
The reason I became an astronaut was reading about his mission to the moon. And to get to meet him later in life, we share the same manager, the lady that scheduled us both. And
oh, let's tie people emotionally to a fake history and try and sway them, keep them tied to certainty of a fake history. You know, oh, let's be patriotic and belong to a fantasy.
It's just amazing to get to be friends and actually work with.
I don't give a fuck who you're friends with.
What is the best and worst thing about being in space?
The best thing, there's two best things. Floating is amazing. Not anything you can do on Earth.
Floating is amazing. You can go to the swimming pool and float. It's not that amazing.
A couple seconds, and then the view is unbelievable. The view from above.
What was the best view?
How about you get a camera in real live time and pan at 360? Take a live phone in from real people, no organised people, so that we can direct you to the things we would like you to do. Right? But we know it's not going to happen, and I wouldn't even waste my time because physics tells us beyond any shadow of a doubt that you ain't in any vacuum flying in a tin can at 17,500 miles an hour. Okay, son?
Another thing.
So this picture of Britain, I just seeing the aurora at night, seeing sunrises and sunsets, never got old.
Incredible. Huh?
Yeah, it's the picture.
Listen to the empty crap. Floating and the view and sunsets. Oh yeah, sunsets. Next he's going to be telling us about the great science they're doing up there with ping pong bats and fucking wee balls of water and monkey suits and bagpipes and gorilla costumes and American football tops and absolute buffoons.
They're amazing. There's a movie I filmed at IMAX movie called Beautiful Planet. It's playing here in London right now.
A movie, exactly. Oh, there's a movie I love, Beautiful Planet. Well, they show you a CGI cartoon in a book, right? So go and watch the movie, and then you'll be convinced that we live on a nature-defying blue testicle, zipping through the vacuum of space at untold speeds, with no rhyme or reason to it. And it all just works perfectly, but it's just an accident, right?
But despite how often those images are, seeing them by yourself, it's just not, you can't compare.
It's the worst thing the conspiracy theory.
No, they're fine.
What's the worst thing about being
No, they're fine. We'll just play them down as if, you know, they're just kooky conspiracy theorists. No, they're no actual people who are involved in actual science and cutting through the bullshit. No. We'll wheel people out with pizza dishes who sit there apathetically and passively while we rip the piss at them, and we don't ever pull them up on their illogical bullshit behaviour. That's what we'll do.
It's like the worst thing about being in space, losing stuff. I mean, like if you don't have a Ziploc bag.
Good question, Piers. How do you lose stuff? Because apparently you're in a tin can, right? How the fuck are you losing anything in a tin can? Right? Oh, it's a huge dilemma. You know, never mind that I'm whizzing about at 17,500 miles an hour, where the tiniest of debris could pierce the bloody tin can at any given moment. No. That's never on my mind. No, it's losing stuff. What, your fucking car keys? Did you lose your car keys in space? Did some of your coins fall out? I mean, what are we talking about?
Tag or Velcro or a tether, that whatever it is will float away with it. Your socks.
Your socks.
Your socks are, yeah.
Well, you shouldn't be wanking into your socks. Okay, mate? Don't take your socks off and you'll no fucking lose them. Right? I hardly think that's a worry. Right? Where's my socks? Oh no. Oh, the dilemma. I wonder where my socks could be.
So we haven't put that because they would just disappear.
They just be floating in space.
That's it. Pull out your fucking prop. Smelly socks floating in space.
It's a brilliant book. It's a great
Jeez,
book to have a real astronaut with us.
A real astronaut? What does that mean, Pierce? Just because you said a real astronaut, what does that actually mean?
Thank you. And Mark, you know what, mate? Each to their own. If you want to keep believing the Earth's flat, nobody went to the moon, good luck to you, my friend.
Thank you.
All right. Well, good morning, Britain.
Well, I must say I'm hugely disappointed, Mark. As I say, I don't know why you don't sort it out. You know, people who claim they are real truth seekers and who are totally focused on what is really important, but yet still sit there passively accepting the illogical bullshit that these people are throwing at you. I really have a serious issue with that, man. Right? So I can tip my hat at the fact of you actually sitting there on that, you know, with a wee bit of pressure. But if you can't deal with the pressure, why are you there representing it? And I tell you what, you're not representing people like me, right? Because I'm really not happy about how you've handled yourself here. You could have done it way better, right? As I say, stop them at the very beginning. First principles. What are we discussing? We are discussing objective reality. Okay, so what format do we require in order to discuss objective reality? We need to go to natural science, the natural sciences, chemistry, biology, physics, things that are based in substance, tangible substances, because they prove to each other what is objectively true and what is not. Images and videos do not prove fuck all, right? So start with the first principle. We're discussing objective truths. We are discussing sciences. Okay, so let's focus on substances before we run off talking about international space stations and outer space wobbly nonsense, right? Because if you establish that with them and you can hold them to that, and then you get them to agree on actual physics, i.e. substances and their behaviours, you know, like pressurized systems, the behaviour of liquids, get them to agree on these things, and then you can move forward, okay? So that you can remove images and videos from the equations and also highlight to them, okay, well, if I show you 5 million images of Superman spinning Pluto the opposite direction, does that now mean Pluto is real, Superman's real, and he has the capabilities of reversing the spin of Pluto? Right? No, it doesn't. And in today's technological advancements, we can manipulate videos and images, therefore they are untrustworthy. So how do we resolve it? Okay, we go back to basics. We go back to actual substance science. That way we can prove to each other, verify or falsify what is objectively true and what is not. So, am I back? Am I stopped screen sharing, Marshall?
No, you're still sharing, dude.
How's that? No, you watching the watch page? It should have stopped by now.
Oh, hang on, dude. Yeah, no, you're cool.
Okay. So, I don't know what else to say about this, people. It was just a wee quick one to fire up and show my pissed offedness. This, oh, what was that? Just to show how pissed off and annoyed I am. These are the very things that I've been screaming about from the beginning, about why people should not accept straw men maps and models, and why people should focus purely on the claim and apply the knowledge of what the sciences actually are and hold people to that. In order for us to discuss any objective truths, things have to be based on measurable substance, tangibles, practical demonstrations. Okay, no videos and images. So, anybody get any input? Marshall, what did you think of that?
Again, you caught me on the hop, dude. I was watching the playback of it as we went live. I think you pretty much covered it comprehensively there. That is not a good representation of the sentiment across the flat earth arena. I mean, it's certainly reflected in the commentary box here that people aren't at all happy with Mark's performance there, and I'm going to call it a performance.
Yeah, well, it is a performance. You know, this is the problem. You know, why these people allow themselves to be in that position and then allow them to play their sophist illogical games is beyond me. Especially after this amount of time, when you've had good people shouting about it, pushing it forward. And it's awful funny how, you know, channels like this who have played a huge role, street activism, you know, unraveling a lot of the crap in regards to the argumentation and how it goes, why are they not knocking at the door for people like us? Yeah? You know? And if I was incapable or in a position of, you know, not having the full scope to deal with a particular topic, I would refer to somebody else who is more competent and who has it sorted out, and I would push them forward in order to represent it. Because do you know what? It's hugely important for me that it is represented properly and that it is moved forward and we have progress. So I would take that responsibility and I would push forward those who are capable of discussing each particular topic that is brought up, right? But that's not happening. Right? We are seeing these idols, these personalities who have been in place, who are now the ones that are being wheeled out and given the mainstream coverage, right? Which is a detriment to the real people who have been representing the real facts. Now, I'm not going to enter into the realms of shill. As I keep saying to people, there is absolutely no necessity for me to say these things. Look at the walk. If you understand the topic, you understand logically the position we are in and what has to be done and how to attack the particular topic, then you should know that. Then you can apply that knowing and understanding to other people and look at how they walk. Now, it can either be that it's just the level of mind that they are at and they have a bit of progression to do, or they have an ulterior motive. That is up to you to discern. Right? But I'm not going to enter into shill. It's in the walk. Simple as that, people. Right, I'm looking at the chat box here, so let me see what you've got to say, people. Individual perspective, Dale, it ain't rocket science. I've no time for anyone who can't separate first principles. Exactly. Kirsten Wolf, it is too much. Irish technical thinker, if it was a fight, Sargent get knocked out, couldn't cope with the forward pressure. Exactly. Levi Foster, silver lining, maybe better people will now get attention and rip the model to shreds, but has brought flat earth to millions of people, and we know anyone with a brain, once they look, they know. Well, there is also that aspect, the publicity aspect of it, right? And I don't mind the publicity aspect of it because it has to get to a wider populace. But when they spin it in that way, and it's not represented the way I want it to be represented, I have an issue with that, right? So we're now going to see the fallout. We will see how the populace reacts to it and what the subsequent follow-ups are going to be like, right? That'll tell us a lot. But right now, I'm a wee bit nervous about it. Rebecca's Way should have put those socks in Piers Morgan's mouth. Yep, exactly. Rammed him right down there because he's an illogical twat. And this is it. This is the types of celebrities we have on mainstream TV. Absolute sophist, emotional, manipulative, lying pieces of shit who do not represent objective facts or the good of the common man whatsoever. Kirsten Wolf, don't be shocked when this topic is shut down by the year's end. Well, if it continues like that, you know, they are going to keep unravelling it as a laughing stock. Maybe that's their plan. But again, you still have the opposite effect where it has been brought into the mainstream narrative. So it's in the consciousness of people, and we can only hope that they encounter the right information. And again, it takes me back to this. They cannot hide this lie for much longer. So is the plan to unravel it slowly, to control the stages of realization, you know, the ridicule, the violent opposition, the acceptance, and by the time it gets to the acceptance, they are ready to roll out some other bullshit narrative about where we actually are. That is still a possibility. To say that it is that they're wheeling it out, to ridicule it, to try and bury it under the carpet, I think there has been far too much damage done by the good people who have represented the actual truth. So whether that is damage enough to keep pushing it forward, you know, it's only going to be a matter of time before we can actually tell that. So it's really up in the air in regards to the possibilities of where this is going to end up. Red Machine Kieran, Piers Morgan is a smug cunt who should have been jailed for phone tapping. He's an absolute scumbag. I would literally pay to hear Dell rip him apart in debate. Well, anytime any of these morons want somebody real who knows exactly how to deal with them, by all means. But this is exactly why they are not knocking down the doors. And again, you know, it's been covered in Scottish mainstream as well. So one of the biggest representatives is us here with the street activism, being known for it. You would think that they would go there, but no, that's not what happens. I have had absolutely nothing in the way of contact from any of them. I actively went to the BBC, left my contacts, been to the newspapers, left my contact, been to local authorities, left my contact, nothing. Lord Big Fudpucker, their think tanks are in crisis mode, they certainly are. You know, and then I seen last night that they were ramping up the, oh, North Korea's firing missiles. You know, that could be the safety mechanism. That could be the trigger in order to distract everybody fully away from it. Dismantle the whole thing. Take a restocking and try and progress from there on in. But who knows, as I say, you know, it's up in the air in regards to exactly where they're trying to steer this. But you can guarantee they are steering it. That is why it has been given mainstream coverage. Again, if you want to suppress it fully, you would never cover it, right? One would, 70 Dell on GMTV would be class. I think I would need a huge swear jar. I would have to be really conscious of my swearing, but I can't help it. It's how I express myself. And when I'm annoyed, fuckity fuck is the easiest words that come to mind. They roll off the tongue easily. So I don't think it 8:30 a.m. in the morning, they're going to have the ranting Scotsman on, right? Rock vibrations, you would think that, Dale, exactly. Text TruthTube, Mark has been looping my memes for almost 200 episodes of his Truth Frequency show without ever giving a credit or reference. Well, that's bollocks, mate, you know. And again, I know that you're one of these people who has been there from the off and who has endeavoured to push the truth forward, and you have been strong in that. And I'm a great believer that credit should be given, no for the purposes of establishing a hierarchy or gaining stature over anybody else. It's just that people should be rewarded by recognition for their endeavours, purely and simply. By doing so, it encourages us to keep contributing and to, you know, have the appreciation that our endeavours are being recognised. That is human nature. We thrive on that. We thrive on recognition, and it makes us want to contribute to each other even more so. But when you get people who jump on an individual's narrative or path or storyline and start mimicking it and stealing from it without giving credit, it leaves a real bad taste in your mouth, and it can turn people to be a bit bitter, right? But rise above it, you know. At the end of the day, it's the truth that's the important thing. You know, and it should only matter that in the right minds, people know where the efforts and the endeavours lie and where the credits should be given, right? So fuck them. Red Machine Kieran, guys, we should all email, tweet, etc. to GMTV to get Dale on there as a follow-up to the pathetic shit this morning. By all means, go for it. Sandman, how you doing? Grey Mears, how you doing? Bill Lovano. Maggie M, how you doing? I think Dale's right. This is getting worrying now. We're being portrayed as idiots. Someone needs to bring it to a halt. Well, that's only up to us, Maggie. We can only continue to keep progressing and keep pushing forward. Again, this is why I was hugely staunch on, you know, saying to people, do not adopt straw men, do not adopt conspiratard nonsense. Remove it all, stick purely to science and the scientific method and focus purely on that and the claim, without making outlandish claims, right, that you don't have to. What vibrations? Good morning. Tell your eyes lies a vision. Yep. Koshy Cats, the mainstream media need to start going out in the street asking people their opinion if they want to get to the crux of this, in my honest opinion. Yeah. But again, with the mainstream, you know, they'll question it in a way that they see fit, and they won't. They're no objective journalists. They are journalists who work to a narrative. They are controlled, right? Objective journalists don't get any airtime. They usually get taken out. Hi, if you could go live at this same time, Dale, it's perfect for my schedule. Great morning, this makes my day. Thanks, Dale and Gav. Well, I'm glad that it worked out for you. It's not going to be a regular thing. As I say, it's just a spur of the moment that I thought I would give a wee commentary over. Or Big Fudbucker, use your pissed offedness. Exactly. We should all be pissed off and irate and standing up to this and expressing it. Right? Don't hold back, people. So I say, this is what I'm saying about committing to what you know, right? Committing to your knowing, committing to objective facts, and don't stand for any of the flaky, fluffy bullshit that people try and add into it. Right. Anyway, people, that was pretty much it. See, disappointing, and I only hope that people take heed of this. As I say, you know, I'm not wanting to bash too much on these individuals, but at the end of the day, if they keep this up, I'm not going to hold back. They do not represent me or the facts, the actual truth in any way, shape or form. They better start removing the fluff, right? Or, you know, people like me will keep standing up and shouting about it, because it's not acceptable. And if anybody has any rebuttal to what I'm actually saying, by all means, have the discussion with me. Right? I doubt it's going to happen. But this is what tells if people really have the integrity, the intellectual honesty, and the will to push forward to establish actual truths. So, thanks people for being here. All I can say is keep at them. Keep, you know, representing the facts. Remove the fluff and the bullshit. And we maybe see you later on. I'm not sure what's happening yet, if things have been arranged for later this evening. I really don't know. Failing that, we'll be back on Saturday again with the people beyond the imaginary curve. So I will see you all very, very soon. Cheers, Marshall.